Alrighty guys, we're 2 for 2 so far this week. I know we were gonna do 2 lists, and I know I have a couple of patron requests floating, but in addition to the fact that, like I said on the Forgotten Race review this week, that Paizo has been shooting me some books, this time we have to backtrack for the good of our own channel. If you've been with us for a long time, you'll know that I used to not homebrew obediences and things for deities that lacked them, and in the case of a lot of them, I would just slap 2 or 3 gods in the same video. We did this with SHIZURU, TSUKIYO, and Fumeyoshi from the Dragon Empires, and now I am pleased to announce that as of Faiths of Golarion, both SHIZURU and TSUKIYO have received their own official Paladin codes and deific obediences. So we're going to catch up real quick. We're going to double back and bring them to you first because I know how much a lot of my patrons, a lot of people who watch our videos love their TN gods, and we've got them for you first. Remember, if you like what you see, hit that like and subscribe button. Requests in the comments. Patrons cut the line once again because I'm just so pleased about it. This episode of Wednesday Afternoon Worship was brought to you in part by Paizo Productions. Thanks so much, guys. I'm really happy to see a lot of older gods get new stuff in this book, and also, I'm just gonna throw it out there that we have an Arcadian Goddess, Kazatal, who you see in Distant Shores, written out all the way, our first Mesoamerican flavored deity, which makes me so happy. Someone be a patron and request this. Anyway, let's talk about these gods. If you want to catch up on the lore, follow this card right up here. It will take you back to the old video, but TLDR, SHIZURU and TSUKIYO are lovers. SHIZURU is the goddess of samurai. The Dragon Empire's Yomade is another way to say it, credited with bringing the code of Ichimyo, or Bushido, to the warriors of the Dragon Empires. And she's in love, as the goddess of the sun, with the god of the moon, TSUKIYO. In a rage, TSUKIYO's brother Fumeyoshi slain TSUKIYO. TSUKIYO was brought back by Kijang, and we got Hafeng in this book as well, in Faiths of Golarion. I was really hoping to see Kijang for one of my patrons. Paizo, make it happen, please. Please. And they still love each other, but TSUKIYO came back a lot different than he used to be. Because, you know, coming back from the dead is in fact an ordeal, as it says in Raised Dead. TSUKIYO is also the patron god of the Samsaran race. One of my favorite races. Hey, follow this card right up here. I'll catch you up on him. TSUKIYO is a god of transformations and transitions, everything from the lunar cycle to the shepherding of souls to the afterlife. Since his death, he's very reclusive and shy, which worries SHIZURU, but it's cool. They still love each other, and they still get to see each other. Not gonna lie, this has been a while ago now. This has been about 18 months. But I used to live in middle of nowhere, Marshall, Missouri, and 18 months ago, there was an eclipse that my town just happened to be right in the line of fire to, and 13,000 people, European cars, middle of the United States, with European license plates driving around. It was surreal. But I couldn't help but thinking that day, as some of you know if you've been with us for a while, that on the day of the eclipse, that I was just really happy that SHIZURU and TSUKIYO could be together. Now, we're just gonna go right into these boons, starting with the Empress of Heaven herself. Again, SHIZURU is lawful good. Her domains are glory, good, law, repose, and sun, with the subdomains ancestors, archon, day, heroism, honor, and light. Her favorite weapon is the katana, and her symbol, a katana, over a sun in a circle. To perform her brand spankin' new Paizo obedience, spend an hour practicing sword forms beneath the sun. Meditate in silence as you practice, focusing on executing each form more perfectly with each repetition. At the end of your practice, make an offering to your ancestors and vow that your deeds in the day to come will honor their memory. In return, it's a +2 sacred bonus to confirm critical hits with any one sword for the next 24 hours. You can use the chosen sword as your divine focus to cast divine spells. Okay, so yeah, there's your Keen Katana, 15 to 20 times 2, +2 to confirm, stacking with everything else because it's sacred. Right off the bat, solid. Evangelist Boons grant us Bless thrice a day, Blinding Ray twice a day, or Searing Light once a day. At level 16, 3 times per day when a creature casts a darkness spell, or uses a darkness creating ability within 30 feet of you, you can call upon SHIZURU's Guiding Light to block it. Attempt a check, d20 plus hit dice plus charisma modifier, against the dispel DC of the spell as an immediate action. If you pass, the target spell or effect fails and is wasted. Take that, Drow Nobles with Deeper Darkness. Anywho, 20th level. Thrice per day is a free action. You can call upon SHIZURU's Might to imbue either a damaging spell or weapon strike with a blinding burst of sunlight, which causes it to deal positive energy damage instead of its normal damage. You must declare the use of this ability before rolling to attack or casting the spell, and if the attack or spell fails, the ability is wasted. This positive energy damage does not heal the living, so okay, at first I was thinking, sweet, I can be a druid, I can channel me some Heaven's Fury, and my Storm of Vengeance will heal my friends and hurt all the zombies. But one has to ask now that one sees that, if it doesn't heal the living, does it harm the living? Is this just a quick way to get a pseudo-brilliant energy katana and just cheat an extra bit of damage on? Not sure. Maybe that's just a quick way to kill a vampire. Anywho, moving forward, Exalted Boons. It's Sanctify Corpse thrice a day, Lesser Restoration twice a day, or Speak with Dead once a day. At level 16, your touch bolsters the living against the terrors of undeath. As a standard action, you can touch someone afflicted with the dazed, paralyzed, sickened, staggered, or stunned condition, and grant that creature another save. You can use this ability once per day, plus 1 additional time per day for every 3 hit dice you have, a maximum of 6. At 20th level, once per day is a full round action. You can call upon SHIZURU's Glory to help you return an undead creature to the grave. Nice. The chosen undead must be within 60 feet, and it's a will save, 10 plus half your HD plus your cha, or it suffers a flurry of shining sword slashes across its body, which gradually fade over the duration of the effect. The undead loses either its damage resistance or SR for a number of rounds equal to your hit dice, a max of 20, and if the undead is unable to rest because of some grievance or trauma, you become aware of what that is and how you might address it, but also you just took the dude's spell resistance away, so we can just banish it. We're fine. Super good. That's playable. Especially versus like a ghost. When you don't have the ghost touch weapon, yeah, just turn off its spell resistance, look at the caster's point, they click and shoot. Flawless victory. Sentinel Boons. It's magic weapon thrice a day, weapon of awe twice a day. Can't say that without laughing. Or deadly juggernaut once a day. At 16th level as a free action, you can surround yourself with a glowing nimbus of sunlight that shines bright light within 60 feet. While so illuminated, you get a +4 bonus to AC against attacks of opportunity. Enemies who attempt such attacks against you must succeed at a fort save, have your hit dice +10 plus your con, or be dazzled for 1d4 rounds. This doesn't affect dudes without eyes, and you can maintain this for a number of rounds per day, equal to your hit dice, a max of 20. The rounds in which you manifest this Nimbus, thanks to Goku, don't need to be consecutive. You can dismiss it as a free action, so that's just more on the mobility builds. Another +4 versus the AOOs. Real good for the Swashbuckler. You move, it provokes, it's a fort save on the attempt, or they get dazzled, which puts a neg on it, and then you riposte, and if it hit your AC is really high anyway, I love it. Anywho, 20th level. Once per day as a free action when fighting with any sword, you can cause your blade to glow with increasingly bright golden radiance after every blow you land. After each hit, you gain a +1 sacred bonus on the damage rolls for subsequent blows, cumulative up to a total equal to your hit dice. The damage bonus lasts for the duration of the combat, or for a number of minutes equal to your cha, whichever is lower. The effect applies only to a single sword. 2-weapon fighting, it's shut off, but you know what? Yeah, this is the boon for the Swashbuckler, just straight up. That's really good. That's a free action to turn on too. That stacks really well with Hammer the Gap. There's a Swashbuckler video came out last week. Follow this card right here, by the way. We'll teach you how to swash and buckle. It goes into Shadow Dancer, and Shadow Dancer gets real weird with this, but this is like the opposite of it, and it's really good. That's amazing. Our parry's causing that to go up, and then we full attack on our turn for 7 or 8 more, and then it's higher on the parry, and then we get a +4 on our AC when we try to parry, and they're dazzled. Yeah, did not see that coming. Sure, I'll play a Swashbuckler of SHIZURU. Seems good to me. Now, of course, SHIZURU's LG, and you know what that means. Paladin code. Both my sword and my swordplay have been entrusted to me by those who have mastered their craft, and both deserve to be wielded by a skilled hand. My training will be consistent, and I will impart my training to others as others pass my training down to me. I will honor the ancestors who have come before me and provided for my life. Though the bonds of love extend across any distance, I will not stretch them further by separating lovers. The Empress rules under all heaven. I am a guardian of the land and its health, as well as of civilized empires that live upon it. I will defend nature from the twisted influence of undead and aberrations, and seek mutual peace with creatures that defend nature from humanity. Good, good, Druids of SHIZURU. Praise the sun! My personal conduct reflects on my family and my god. I will conscientiously maintain my reputation for the sake of theirs, even on the battlefield. The strategy of war involves deception by nature, but the flag of peace is sarcasant. I accept no negotiations from those who have attacked a foe under the pretense of arbitration or truce for their own gain. They have destroyed the trust that reconciliation requires. Okay, that's so much better than the old Paladin code we had, because the old Paladin code was just, don't separate lovers, and that's just playable. I'm not gonna lie, a Paladin Swashbuckler of SHIZURU just seems real good. Anyway, to the other half, TSUKIYO also is, again, lawful good. His domains are darkness, good, law, madness, and repose, and truly that is one of TSUKIYO's selling points. A lawful good deity with the madness domain. It's very, very unique. No Cthulhu monsters here, not just a moon guy. Subdomains, ancestors, archon, insanity. Again, not normal for the LGs. Moon, night, and souls. His favorite weapon is the long spear, and his symbol is the jade crescent moon. To perform TSUKIYO's deific obedience, find a quiet place from which to study the moon. Contemplate its transition from full to half, to crescent, to nothing at all, then back again, comparing its transformation to your own accomplishments. If unable to study the moon clearly, seek a quiet place and spend an hour studying a jade trinket while mentally retelling one of TSUKIYO's parables that pertains to your recent experiences. In return, it's a +4 sacred bonus on saves against effects that cause the confused or fascinated condition, or that deal wisdom damage or drain. Yeah, that's not bad. That's good sideboard tech. We don't want to hurt our will saves. We'll take it. Anywho, Evangelist Boons. It's lesser confusion thrice a day, darkness twice a day, or blink once a day. At level 16, when using the Vision of Madness granted power from the Madness domain, and see we're feeding the LG Madness guys even more, you can target creatures within 30 feet of you instead of having to touch a single target. You can target a maximum number of creatures equal to 1 for every 4 HD you have, a max of 5. If you don't have access to the Madness domain, you instead gain the ability to use the basic version of the Vision of Madness granted power. Touching a single target is a melee touch attack, a number of times per day equal to 3 plus your wisdom, as listed in the Vision of Madness description, and at 20th level, once per day you can point at a creature within 60 feet and transport it as per maze to a shadowy labyrinth illuminated by moonlight overhead. For every minute the target spends at rest or spends aimlessly wandering the maze, it is healed 1d2 points of intelligence, wisdom, or charisma damage. However, each time the target fails an int check to escape the maze, it takes a d4 of charisma damage. So yeah, that's weird healing synergy there. Go here, get your head straight, then come back. Honestly, I have a lot to say about TSUKIYO. Anyway, Exalted Boons. Hide from undead, thrice a day, calm emotions twice a day, or helping hand once a day. At 16th level, you can radiate soft silvery moonlight from your body at will as a free action, illuminating a 20-foot radius with dim light as a second level spell. For a number of rounds per day equal to 1 + 1 for every 4 hit dice, you can intensify this light as a standard action. This intensified light suppresses darkness effects as per a heightened to 7th level daylight spell, but it only creates dim light. Furthermore, it suppresses all harmful compulsion, emotion, and fear effects in the area, as well as any harmful effects from madness. You know, if you've played through horror adventures, these rounds don't need to be consecutive, and you can deactivate this as a free action. And at 20th level, once per day as a standard action, you can summon an advanced Kirin that resembles an elegant jade hair. Its breath weapon does 8d8 of cold. The Kirin follows your commands perfectly for 1 minute before returning to heaven, but it doesn't do anything that's not LG, it can fight you and stuff. that actually might be a little more playable than a lot of the things you summon, given the power of the Kirin. It's one of my favorite mounts for my samurai. Lots and lots of spells, especially because we seem to be calling TSUKIYO's Herald. It could probably maybe have spent some time to customize its spell list, because, you know, your 20th level, it probably should have been able to. Anywho, Sentinel Boons. It's Magic Stone, thrice a day. Stone Discus, twice a day. Searing Light, once a day. At 16th level, you gain the ability to smite evil once per day, as per a paladin of your character level. Nice! If you already have the smite evil class feature, this adds to the number of times per day you can do it. When you use it, you can transform either your weapon or your armor into enchanted jade for a minute, or until the smite effect ends. Your transformed weapon gains the Ghost Touch special ability, very useful in the situations where you got the spooky ghosts only doing half damage, no longer. Furthermore, if the target of the smite evil is an undead creature, the bonus on damage rolls for the first hit with the weapon increases to 3 points of damage per paladin levels, including any sentinel levels. And your first attack with the weapon gains the Disruption special ability DC 13 plus your Cha. The armor gains Ghost Touch as well, and if the target of Smite Evil is undead, the armor gets you a +2 Sacred bonus on the saves, and a +2 to Sacred bonus on AC against the spells and attacks from these things. That's sweet, that's really good. Also, if for some reason you're becoming incorporeal on this character, your Ghost Touch weapon means you don't just drop it when you ghost out. That's very powerful. Anywho, 20th level. You increase the time that you can remain dead before being revived by Breath of Life by a number of rounds equal to your Cha, minimum of +1. Okay, yeah, that might come in a pinch for sure. Once per week as a swift action, you can cast Breath of Life on yourself, even when you would otherwise be unable to take action, such as like when you're dead. Okay, yeah, none of those jump out at me quite as much as SHIZURU's Swashbuckler powers that I didn't know she had. But the Kirin is actually, of all the summons that one can summon, kind of playable. Again, that's a lot of spells, it's a flying mount. The sky's the limit with your giant flying rabbit. Anywho, my man is, of course, lawful good, so here's that brand new Paladin code. I am the voice for those who go unheard, be they spirits who cannot speak, or those whom society has judged as broken or insane. I shall open the doors for others to listen to the voiceless when I can, and when I cannot, I will speak in the words of the voiceless, not my own. I am the eyes for those who cannot understand the truths of others who are not like them. I shall teach others how to accept, support, and celebrate those who think and speak differently than they do. I am the guide for mortal minds and souls. I shall offer kindness and aid to the lost, the frightened, the confused, and the dead. I shall calm restless spirits, and I shall banish violent ones with what compassion I can provide without endangering others. A different perspective can bring both fulfillment and pain. I do not judge those who wish to remain as they are, no matter what disadvantages it may bring them, nor do I judge those who suffer and wish to be changed. There is no shame in madness, and so I do not make madness shameful by imposing it on my enemies as a punishment. Though darkness and attacks on the mind are tools I may use to vanquish the unjust, my actions will never force lasting insanity upon my foes. And, of course, we didn't get Planar Adventures Boons, so real quick, SHIZURU once per day, critical hit automatically confirmed, and when it is so confirmed, treat it as a coup de grace attempt. TSUKIYO, once as a free action, remove all damage or drain from any of your mental ability scores, because, you know, keep your head on straight. Now, both of these deities, again, hold a near and dear place to my heart, because I personally just love the Dragon Empires. The samurai have always fascinated me, and the fact that SHIZURU has gained more lore is pretty sweet for me, I'm not gonna lie. But really, honestly, TSUKIYO is the god that's pulling me a little harder this time. Because, and I won't give you guys a super, in-depth as to why of it, but recently, I've had a pretty close brush with mental illness myself. And how does one put mental illness in the lawful good spectrum? Exactly like that. TSUKIYO's essentially just come back as a social worker because, you know, when you go through some stuff and you get out on the other side of that stuff, who better than you to have an intrinsic understanding of what that stuff is like, right? And when you have deity-level magic, it only makes sense that you would pass out the ability to help those and demand, in return for these powers, a la Paladin codes, helping those who seek help. Like, it only makes sense, right? It's also very flavorful to send someone away and just kind of let them heal of their mental damage only to come back later, and having a quick effect to shut off insanity for a few rounds is, well, it's quite peaceful. I will say that. I was really happy when I saw that SHIZURU and TSUKIYO, and truthfully a lot of other gods as well, were getting more sweet Paizo obediences, but I didn't expect TSUKIYO to become that near and dear to me. Man, alright, cool. I think I found a new favorite LG deity. Gonna be competing with Rigathiel pretty hard. Follow this card right here, Rigathiel. Anyway, that's all we have for today. What do you guys think about all this new stuff? Are we playing our Dragon Empire's characters again? Are we breaking them out? Are we playing Samurai Swashbucklers? Ghost Touch Paladins? Anything in between? Let me know in the comments. We'll keep that conversation rolling. Next week on Wednesday Afternoon Worship, it's a patron request. Did you get bad Christmas presents? Do you need to make a deal to get new ones? Look no further than the Archdevil Mephistopheles. I'll see you then.